We live in the weirdest time in human history, like, we can buy a $1,000 piece of glass in your pocket right now, but you're stressing over a $5 carton of eggs. The problem isn't that you buy coffee, or, I don't know, treat yourself to nice shoes. The real reason you feel broke right now is because you're playing by rules that literally stop you from getting rich. And look, if that hits close to home, you are not bad with money. You're just playing by an old rule book in a completely different game. Luxury got insanely cheap, but survival? Survival got insanely expensive. And the advice everyone keeps throwing at you, just budget better, cut the coffee, is honestly a trap. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why that advice is keeping you broke, and what you actually need to do instead. Think about how our world works right now. Global supply chains are optimized to ship you a designer dupe from across the planet for 20 bucks. Algorithms and buy now, pay later apps make it frictionless to finance a lifestyle. We are drowning in cheap dopamine. But when geopolitical tensions hit and energy shocks ripple through the system, it doesn't make the luxury goods disappear. It makes your heating bill, your groceries, and your rent explode. The system is designed to make you feel wealthy with cheap trinkets, while pricing you out of actual assets. So what's the standard financial advice when this happens? Just budget better. But let's do the math. When your rent is eating up 50% of your income, telling you to budget better isn't just out of touch, it's mathematically useless. Budgeting has a floor. You can only cut expenses until you hit bone. And when baseline survival costs shift this drastically, something dangerous shifts in our brains too. We enter a psychological trap called doom spending. Behavioral psychology tells us that when a massive long-term goal, like buying a house, feels mathematically impossible, we redirect our financial energy into things we can control. We buy a nicer outfit. We go out for a $100 dinner. We finance a car we don't need. It is a coping mechanism. We are buying the illusion of wealth, because actual, foundational wealth feels locked behind an impenetrable wall. So, if traditional budgeting is a band-aid on a bullet wound and doom spending is draining our accounts, how do we actually survive this? You have to play a different game. Step 1 is the defense. Right now, we're staring down the barrel of stagflation, which is high inflation mixed with a stagnant, slow economy. If you leave your cash in a savings account, inflation eats it. But in a stagnant economy, blindly throwing money into the S&P 500 and hoping for a 20% return is risky. You have to look at the fair value of an asset, not just the hype. In an expensive world, you want to hold assets that have pricing power, meaning things people have to pay for, regardless of the economy, like real estate. But wait, didn't I just say you can't afford a house? You don't need a massive down payment to own real estate. This is where REITs, or real estate investment trusts, come in. These are companies that own and operate income-producing real estate. By investing in a REIT, you get exposure to real assets that weather inflation, without having to fix a leaky toilet at 2 a.m. Plus, they are legally required to pay out a majority of their taxable income as dividends. It shifts you from hoping a stock goes up to actually generating passive cash flow. But defense isn't enough. Remember the budgeting trap? You can only cut expenses so much, but your income doesn't have a ceiling. To survive this economy, you have to play offense. You have to decouple your time from your earning potential. We live in an era where you can build digital systems to do the heavy lifting for you. You don't need a massive factory. You need a laptop. For example, instead of trading hours for dollars driving Uber, you can set up automated workflows to manage a digital service business. You can leverage AI to generate and scale content channels. You can find arbitrage opportunities where you curate and resell high-demand software or goods. The goal is the same across the board. You build a system once, and it works for you in the background while you sleep. That is how you outpace inflation. Everything still costs so much, and honestly, that isn't changing anytime soon. The people who win this decade won't be the ones trying to save $3 on a latte. The winners will be the ones who recognize the doom spending trap, invest strictly for cash flow, and build automated systems to scale their income without scaling their hours. If you want me to break down exactly how to calculate the fair value of an asset before you buy it, or how to set up the exact automation workflows to start scaling a side business, let me know in the comments below. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.